Okay, let me know if you can hear me. We'll get started in about 30 seconds.
665 Metro. 665 Metro.
669. 669.
Headache, ma'am. Headache, ma'am.
Good evening, 2059. Good evening, 2059.
Oh. We'll get started in just a moment. We'll get going. There's a decent number of crashes and pretty good snow. Pretty good snowfall right now.
Metro 4450. Highway 13 in Lone Oak.
482 Metro.
Metro 4450, you're 70 cars for vehicle off the road. Highway 13 in Lone Oak.
482. 1082.
And in the background,
658.
you'll hear State Patrol dispatch.
160 Metro.
I think we have several vehicles that have slid off road near us or crashes. This one's spot that I'm trying to get rid of. Okay.
2430 or 4470 car to check out of you across the road. East 36 at Oak Green. Metro 2430 or 4470 car to check out of you across the road. East 36 at Oak Green.
Exclusive.
And let's check.
2100.
Metro. 614 Metro. 614 Metro.
614. 614.
Heads up. Heads up.
Okay,
East
we'll
10-7.
get started very shortly here. We'll get going.
2101. Good night. 2101.
We've got our radar set up, our map in the top left, radar in the bottom left, and then our dash cam as the main view. If you can hear us, let us know.
2406 Metro. 2406 Metro.
2406.
Give a thumbs up in the chat. Anthony, can you hear us?
Can you show me 10-8? My CAD's messed up. Can you show me 10-8? My CAD's messed up.
2101.
Anthony's here, Jesus is here. Just let us know, are you able to hear? I just got a message from a good friend saying we've got some areas with zero visibility. So let's go check this out once this truck goes past us. Hear us fine, okay. And hopefully we've got some good video. And let's go ahead and get going. You'll hear in the background the State Patrol dispatch for District 2400, District 2500. District 2400 is the East Metro, St. Paul side of the Mississippi. District 2500 is the West Metro side. So that's west of the Mississippi, that's Hennepin County and Minneapolis. On the east side, Ramsey County. And you can see, just look at the visibility that we're experiencing. It's crazy. Some of it is. And the snow depths are worse than I thought they'd be. It's been pretty much non-stop snowing here.
Partially blocking north on Highway 3 just south of Disley. Metro 1070 car for vehicle off the road, partially blocking north on Highway 3 just south of Disley.
Calling out another vehicle off-road, not close to us.
62062 in Delaware.
2103.
Off Diffley. Audio looks good. Thank you, Ben. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up. Really appreciate it, folks. Watching from Fort Worth, Texas. Maybe it's a little warmer in Fort Worth. James saying, hey, be careful out there. Really appreciate that, James. Minus 50 wind chill in Wyoming. Yeah, and Doc Wolf saying will be minus 60 to 65 overnight. If you look at the road, maybe, I don't know how easy it is to see. We'll zoom in just a little bit.
12 Metro.
SC12. SC12.
Give me just a moment to fix the zoom there. You can really kind of see
623.
the visibility situation that we're in.
Westbound 94 between 081 and 101. There's a hatchback on the left. They have help en route.
2104.
Westbound 94 between County Road 81 and 101. There's a hatchback on the left. They have help en route.
2104.
And I'm trying to listen also to the dispatch audio in the background.
2104. 2104.
County Road E2.
549 Metro.
So this is 35W if you're 35W, and really a pretty big roadway, but to get, and there's on the left, the far left lane is nicely cleaned off by a plow. We're on the right side. To get over to the left, that we'd have to go over about 6 inches of snow.
2105.
Rob's saying too many people on the road. Another, looks like we've got Marine watching from Pennsylvania. Up here, I know that there's 2 vehicles off-road. They're not going to be in view yet. And we're going to try to move over a lane. Yeah. So, you can't see it, but there's a vehicle off-road with police out on it that we just went past in our rear view mirror.
12.
I was actually talking with her. She said she's had a lot of helpers come out. She said she's okay. She said no damage to her vehicle. She had one person try to push her out and shovel her out. Another person tried to winch her out, but the snow was too deep. And so now I just saw there's a police car out with her. She said she's had a really good experience meeting fellow Minnesotans tonight, and I had the opportunity to talk to her. I told her, hey, don't be too hard on yourself. There's a lot of, these are very difficult travel conditions, and she was well prepared. Her exhaust was cleared off. She was staying warm and had even a little bit of in-car entertainment while she was waiting for help. Patrick, hello from New Brighton. That's right near the MN Safety headquarters.
4550 or DD car, right, tire in the middle lane westbound through the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
Westbound through the Lowry Hill Tunnel, that's I-94, a tire in the lane.
Westbound through the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
Don't dare go out in Wyoming. Thank you for showing this.
253, 35 minutes. 253, 917.
And I don't know how easy it is. I mean, this is like a 4-lane highway. Yeah, and off on the right, there's this blue minivan. Some of that snow is pretty deep over there. There's some areas where it's 6 inches. And that's still freeway. They're not driving on the shoulder or anything. But your mileage can really vary depending on where you are in the 2 tracks. Logan says he's not excited to work snow removal this overnight.
45 or 50.
Metro Zero phlebotomist for Savage at Savage PD. Metro Zero phlebotomist for Savage PD at Savage PD.
4560 car 139 available. 35 135 97.
Okay, we've got
289 right there. 130 copies. 289 right there. 289 130 copies. They're not in a snowstorm.
Different 2108.
State Trooper off on our right.
Metro speak 253.
There was a car there earlier. It looks like they got him out of there. That's great.
Debris in the right lane. Yep. Yep.
We can pull up our cameras while kind of looking at some of the visibility that state troopers are dealing with. That's the crash that we just went past near the top left corner. You can see it can be a bit hard to see what's going on with traffic ahead. And if you're curious, my speed for comparison to these other cars, 38 miles per hour, just because the visibility is so low, combined with darkness, cover of night. And you can see visibility would change as quickly here. It just got worse. I don't know how easy it is to pick that up on camera. I think the camera has better low light quality than maybe my eyes, but it's actually quite hard to see ahead right now. Frog says, where are we? Just turned in. Yeah, we're I-35W near New Brighton. Hello in Europe. Hello from Europe. Hello to Europe, I should say. Yeah, good question. I'm going about 38 miles per hour. Apple Valley saying a lot of snow. That's Kristen.
Rockford Road. 25 car check for vehicle off the road. Southbound 494 from Rockford Road.
Another vehicle off the road in the South Metro 494 and Rockford Road that just got dispatched. This is normally 8-lane highway, 4 lanes each direction. There's no good lanes, but the left 2 lanes are probably the best.
60 car 1050 blocking the left. East 694 in Snelling.
694 in Snelling is not too far from us. We just went past, so there was a call that just went out for 694 in Snelling. We just went past 694. Maybe we'll loop around and check that out.
They hung up and they're not answered since check for injuries.
Oh, okay. Up here on our right.
50 or 70 car to a 21 from a driving complaint 7 hours ago.
Looks like there's a car off the road.
One.
Hi. You, sounds like you've got some help on the way?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. I just made my payment.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, though.
Okay, maybe I'll swing by. I mean, it looks like you're pretty deep, but it sounds like you're okay.
Yeah, I just need a ledge out. I'm fine.
Okay. All right, well, I'll swing by and put up some flares just since you're on that curve, okay? I'll be over in about 5 minutes. I'm just a volunteer, just a passer by. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, and hang in there. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay?
276
All right.
276. 276.
So she spun out. You know, this is a downhill on a curve after a bridge. Really common area to spin out because you've got, you have to curve, you have to turn. You've got the bridge, which is going to be faster to freeze.
10-4.
And just to draw some attention to the fact that there is a road hazard up there, we'll put out some flares. She went off on the left side, kind of in the center median between those 2 exits. So we'll loop back around, throw out some flares so that people coming into that curve know that there's a road hazard ahead of them. She was on her phone. Sounds like she had a plan. She just needed a winch out. And if you, I don't know if you could heard her say, she just finished her last payment on that car. The visibility is changing moment by moment, and any car that gets ahead of me or a truck, depending on where they are in the road, they can really throw up a lot of dust. So it'll change based on weather or based on circumstance. If you're local, this is Highway 10 in Blaine area, and I think we'll take the airport road. Yeah, so there's a semi-truck ahead, and you can see I can't even, yeah, I can see like these 3 lights on the top of it, but I cannot see any other part of this semi-truck. If you're curious, I'm going about 35 miles per hour just because the visibility is so low. Speed limits are maybe 65, 70 miles an hour through here on Highway 10. Hello from Arizona.
You can slow down to that. Parties on the
Good
phone.
night to be at home and watching on YouTube. grab some hot chocolate for sure. And thank you, Andrew Bennett, coming in with a donation. That is so helpful. We're going to be deploying some flares tonight just to help with that visibility with those roadside hazards. Each time we deploy those flares, it's about $10, about $3 per flare. We'll be dropping 3 of them. And every time we do that, that's about $10 out of pocket. We cover that just to kind of promote that safety. Promote safety and provide a little bit of entertainment, but also draw awareness to weather safety hazards and travel hazards this Christmas season. So we really thank you so much, Andrew. 99 cents. Every little bit helps. If you're following along, go ahead, click that button to join, or click the little $sign button to make a small donation. We love seeing that stuff. It's super helpful, and it helps us do more streams in the future. Slash says slow down, man, because he heard that I was going 35 miles an hour. Those are clearance lights on the truck. Yes, thank you. I could only see the clearance lights and not like the lights lower down on the trailer.
2115.
Starlight says hello from St. Paul. Yes, awesome. Hello from Andover. Love hearing it. Was it a Chrysler? You know, I didn't know the make and model. Good question. So I'm driving a Ford Explorer tonight, 4-wheel drive, which, as you know, if you've probably been watching our channel, 4-wheel drive, that's not going to help you at all with your braking, but it does help you with acceleration and kind of getting out of those snowy situations. So again, 4-wheel drive doesn't help at all with safety per se. It doesn't help with braking. You know, a front-wheel drive vehicle, all the tires brake on it, right? But all-wheel drive does help. It just helps you not be a little less likely to get stuck in the snow, get started from a stop again. Hi from Chicago. Seems like the camera and the eyes are about the same. Okay, all right, good, good. On our right, I don't know if you saw it, we've got, looks like a vehicle off-road. Off on the right. Oh, they're pretty far off.
The left lane southbound on County 11, and one in the ditch in the same spot. I'm going to flip to that because they're blocking.
Well, let's go back and I'll show you this one real quick. There's no one around.
624, 312. I'm not far behind you. Was that southbound left lane? It's in the northbound left lane. You want that on? Let's get on camera. It's in the northbound left lane. Yeah. I did not hammer. Apologize.
Wow, they've got.
Copy, just drove through it. Not too chill. Negative, we're close for here. Copy, just drove through it. Negative, we're close for here. 2117. 2117.
Got it. All set.
25 car for people off the road southbound 160 on 101st. I don't see Sanford Boone.
All right, they're getting. They're towing a tow truck. It looks like there.
I don't see Sanford Boone. 667, 620. If you want to switch calls, we're going to take care of the viewers.
So they winched out a tow truck there. I'll clean it. Give me just a moment. I'll try to get this.
Vehicle off the road in the median, north 177 between 626 and 132. If you make sure they're gonna. Vehicle off the road in the median, north 177 between 626 and 62.
77. So that's another vehicle off the road in the median. That's South Metro. We're kind of in the North Metro right now, so it's not particularly close to us. We're heading back to vehicle off-road.
2118.
Woman who is saying that she just got her last payment done on her car, and now she is stuck in the ditch. This is on the flyover Highway 10 to get on 35W. Andrea, thank you so much. Andrea putting down $10. That means so much to us. It really helps. Thank you, Andrea, for your donation. When is 511 going to fix their MN.Dot cameras? So some of those live stream cameras are not working. I don't know. I don't work for MN.Dot, but they. I think we've really become to rely on those cameras because they are just so incredibly helpful. Let's go see if we can pull up the camera that's nearest this intersection. What the cameras, come on. Let's see if our vehicle off-road is... and get a look. That's looking at 35W northbound and the southbound lanes, not too far from where we have our driver that's off the road. What's so great about this, there we go, there's our Highway 10 flyover to 35W, and just off camera is where we've got our vehicle off-road. Thank you so much, Andrea, making a donation. Go ahead and just like, I don't want to sound too much like NPR, but we really appreciate those donations. It helps us encourage to do more of these types of live streams. So thank you so much, Andrea. There's a semi truck behind me, and it's a one-way path. I'm wondering. I would like to throw out a flare for this gal. Give people a heads up that she's
312. 312.
312.
off the road.
312.
312 for a pullout. Volkswagen SUV. She did a tow for a pullout. The Volkswagen SUV.
2120.
Northbound 35E between County 11 and Cedar.
2121.
The semi behind me is doing an awesome job. We're lighting a flare.
Metro. 664 Metro. 664. 664. 2120. 2120. 673 2121. 673 2121.
Address 312. Address 312.
You're gonna hear me turn up the.
437.
You're gonna hear the blower for a little bit just to defrost that front. I'll throw this one up. Less car payment, huh? Is that what you said? Less car payment?
I think that's going to be our original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah, copy that.
2120.
376 Metro. 376 Metro. 270. 270.
Vehicle off the road. Eastbound 10 to 35. Third vehicle off the road. Eastbound 10 to 35. Should now be on with it now.
QVA man. QVA man. 2120.
All right, and so a little correction there. Hey, thank you, Kristen. Kristen, $2.99. Thank you so much. That really helps. Really helps us do more live streams like this and kind of put ourselves out here sometimes to bring you news, information, timely weather information. Be Gons. Thank you. $19.99. That means so much and is so appreciated. Like I was saying, thank you, Be Gons. And thank you, Kristen, for those donations. It does help so much. She was, and it really helps us, you know, helps cover the cost of the flares. Each flare is really a set of 3-pack of flares is $10. You've got the gas and the equipment and stuff like that. I won't. Ice MN. Thank you so much. Wow, you guys are so generous. That generosity really means a lot to us. And a quick correction, she said she just made the payment to have a tow truck come out and help her. So it wasn't the last payment on her car. It was she made a payment on the tow truck. Oh, you all are so generous. Thank you, Ice MN. There's Minnesota News Now in the chat. Thank you, News Now. All right, so let's go back to, let's check a little bit on, got our winter radar. It's a little hard to see on that map, but it does kind of give a little dot on an approximate location where we are, if you're familiar with the Twin Cities area. Good, and that defrost did, I think, help clear up the front screen.
80 cars. Info only from Monroe County at this time. Northbound 65 at Osborne report of a sedan in the right-hand ditch. Again, info only 2125.
Northbound 65.
80 cars. Info only from Monroe County at this time. Northbound 65 at Osborne report of a sedan in the right-hand ditch. Again, info only at 2125.
We are really not that far away. We just got off 35W. We are in Blaine, and that is in neighboring Fridley. That report of a car in the ditch off Highway 65. In Osborne.
Metro 67 for 21 on a 1050. Metro 60 or 70 car for 21 on a 1050.
152. 152.
2126. 2126.
So we've already, you know, we have not been streaming that long. We just saw that gal back there go off in the center median on the curve. Before that, we saw a state trooper out assisting with a crash, and then just before the live stream, we saw 2 other crashes. Now we've got the call of a car in the median off Highway 65 Osborne. And the snow has been, there's Kristen Martin. Thank you so much. My goodness, thank you for your generosity, Kristen. Mr. Kohanzi Street, Mr. Kohanzi Street, thank you so much. $10. Keep your window clear. Stay safe. Merry Christmas. Yeah, that defrost really did kind of clear that up. I am so glad. And we've got some really now, I don't know if you guys know this, but to give like a good cellular signal where we're not dropping frames, there's something called bonded networks that have really changed my life in terms of giving higher quality live streams. And what it does is you buy this software package, you subscribe to it, and it combines like your Verizon cellular signal with your AT&T cellular signal. So to bring this higher quality video where we've got the weather radar and HD video and the traffic map all to you, all those data sources, we use multiple data networks, cellular data networks, Verizon and AT&T, to bring you kind of a higher quality feed than I think what else is out there. And that's called bonded cellular networks, bonded networks. Not that you need to know this, there's no test, but it really helps maintain a better feed.
667 Metro. 667 Metro.
See if we can fix that focus. There we go. Big thank you to Mr. Kohani Street, $10 for that donation.
10-6
Karen Major coming in with $10, $9.99. Thank you, Karen. Really appreciate that. Glad to have you along.
89, could you repeat that?
And Kristen Martin. Kristen Martin, thank you, $4.99. Thank you, Kristen, for your donation. Really helps to support what we're doing.
129.
Okay, back up to Highway 10. We are making our way over to Highway 65 for a vehicle off-road in the median. And some of the wind picking up now.
670 Metro.
A little bit. The visibility just changes so quickly.
Let's turn open, sir.
In the background, you may hear State Patrol dispatch. We have District 2400 East Metro, District 2500 West Metro on. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. Yes, and Rebecca says, are we going to 65 in Osborne? Yes, that's where I'm headed next. Don says, what's our ham call sign? We don't have a ham call sign. Looks like it, Becca, yep. And Becca, I do have up the MN crime chat.
We have a VOR and
I just pulled it up actually. Becca is in the chat and she runs she helps support or runs the Anoka County Police Plotter on Facebook. Huge source of information.
Northbound 35E.
Can you start a toll for this VOR?
I'm on that sit ramp. You want me to shut it down until you can go clear?
If you hear them say VOR, that means vehicle off-road. It means a vehicle slid off. Let's see if we can pull up the 65 in Osborne.
Can you start a private pullout? You cannot get it from 250, so they have to flip at East River Road.
The Osborne camera is still down. And zoom out. And I mean, you're still hearing pretty frequent radio chatter about vehicles off-road, 1050s, which would be a crash, as the night continues. And as we get away from rush hour, it's 9:30 locally, so we're away from rush hour, and what you may sometimes see at night, especially on like a Friday night, but you'll start to see more severe crashes because because people can go faster when there are fewer cars on the road. So as the night progresses, you might see fewer cars on the road, but the risk profile doesn't really change because people are traveling faster with fewer cars on the road. Like rush hour, you'll have a lot of crashes, but they tend to be lower velocity crashes because everyone's traveling slower.
Some
genius one in the ditch is what I just heard.
549, go ahead. 549, go ahead.
Okay.
549.
So we're now on Highway 65, heading to a report where a vehicle is off the road in a median. Let's see. Straight shot to 65 on 85th. Oh, thank you. I should have known that. Thank you, Puck. Oh, hi, that's me. What's your vehicle? Today we're driving a newer model Ford Explorer. A friend of mine is on the way to the same crash, so say hi to Sean when he gets there. Oh, okay, all right, sure. I mean, if I can. MN Choir Mom says, my husband and daughter are driving home from Hanson Lake Boulevard to Brooklyn Park via US 10, 610, and 252. Jamie Morales says, watch your video, huge fan. Thank you, Jamie. Really appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, so MN Choir Mom, that's, knows the area. We're in that same area. No ham license. Do we have a permit from the BCA? Yes, we do have a permit from the BCA. We have their signature and we keep it in our glove box in case anyone ever asks. Great question from Roscoe. Yep, it's in the description. It says so. Yep, and we got it from the BCA. So, if anyone from the BCA goes famous, we have their signature. And if you're not from Minnesota, BCA, that would be like the state police, but it's like the investigative division of the state. It'd be like in Georgia, the GBI, in Texas, I think it might be the Texas Rangers, but it's the investigative arm of like the state policing agency, right? We've got a plow up here on our right. Our speeds are about 37 miles an hour. We are going to slow down. I don't feel like...
We do have North Star now. Continue. Just keep them calm. Just can drive it, and it's probably just being towed out. Yeah, just keep them calm. It's gonna be private.
Evelyn says, first time watching. Welcome, Evelyn. What app do we use for traffic cams? MN.Dot has, hands down, some of the best service that we've seen, having lived in a number of northern states. I mean, people sometimes give the plows a hard time, but there's no state like Minnesota that has to deal with snow like we do, combined with high populations, right? It's just so difficult to keep the roads clean when you get so much snow, so much blowing snow, and it's so cold. Chicago gets cold, but it's not like this. The Dakotas get really bad weather, but they just don't have the population, the road population. So Minnesota is just so difficult, very difficult situation. But so a really good app is that MN.511 app, because it gives you direct access to those camera feeds, and those are live stream cameras, which is super helpful. You're not getting a delay there, more than a few seconds, and they really put out some high quality videos. Maryland Emergency Responders says hello. Awesome. And we're starting to see those flashing lights up ahead. So we're at 65 in Osborne. Looks like it might just be south of Osborne. We'll see if there's any other vehicles in the median though. Tracy says hello from Michigan. Not at all excited from the storm. Yeah, and I'll speak personally for myself as a volunteer. I am originally from Michigan. Okay, so here we're coming up on the vehicle in the median. I see at least there's a line of health. Responding lights and sirens. We've got one car off on the right. I don't know if you can see that. There's one pickup off on the right. It's all shut down. All dark.
Sounds good to me. It's 147.
37.
Rebecca has an update. Tow truck is there already. My friend passed you. Thanks, Becca. Thanks. Tow truck is there already. Anytime any vehicle passes me whatsoever, or the wind picks up a little bit, or a new snow squall comes through, our visibility changes so quickly.
Metro 1070 car for semi in the lanes, East 194 Concord. Metro 1070 car for semi in the lanes, East 194 Concord.
Eastbound 94 at Concord.
376 in the area here.
2130. 2130. Metro 126. Metro 126.
Good.
All right,
My
so
apologies, city badge number wrong. You have an officer safety.
we're going to get in the right lane.
2130.
I'm going about 38 miles an hour, but I really should be in the right lane. I'm sorry about that, YouTubers. Quickly. we do want to we do welcome your donations. It really helps us support some of the equipment that we use, you know, and then there's wear and tear on the vehicle, gas, that type of stuff, which isn't nothing. But a big piece of that is the equipment that we use, and then some of the safety equipment that we have, both to protect ourselves and to provide support to the people that are out here. We really like doing it, but it is can be dangerous work. If you've watched any of our videos, either on MN Safety or on our other channel, Wham Slam Traffic Cam, you know just how dangerous some of the wintertime driving can be, especially for a pedestrian out. You know, if you're a tow truck driver or other first responder out in harm's way.
312 Metro. Clear this one. I'll head back when I went in by 6:30. Same location.
2140. 2140.
All right, so we're gonna head next. Ooh. Thank you to Geek Filter. I lived in Plymouth as a teen in the 80s. Watching this is a little bit like time travel for me. Yeah, and so Geek Filter, if you know the area much, we're a little north of 694, and we're gonna get back on 694 here in a moment as some of the wind picks up. I don't know if you can see, I mean, you know, there's a police car up there. I mean, that's pretty hard to make out and visually kind of see what's up ahead. We're gonna head to 694. Head to 694. I'm sorry, it's tough sometimes to like listen to the scanner. So there's an VOR, or vehicle off-road, just called in to State Patrol Dispatch. And the only thing we have up is State Patrol Dispatch, so the local calls we're not even getting to. It would just be too much. There's enough crashes and vehicles off-road, slide-offs, as it is. Right now we are, so for the dispatch audio, we are using Broadcastify calls service, which is another thing that we have to pay monthly for. Kind of a pain, but it really provides a really good service. And I don't know who all is hosting Broadcastify, but special thank you to the people that do that. Really helps promote that transparency in government. And I think those scanner groups, they've really gotten a lot better at some of the self-regulation. But again, a big thank you to Geek Filter. $5 donation means so much to us. Green light. We're gonna let this one other car sneak in here on the left. I don't know if that's on camera, but
yeah, MN calls it duplicate for it. Thank you. 2003.
local news is posting -2 right now. Sorry for the misinformation. But so let's talk about the weather. So, you know, you guys, MN.Dot knows. MN.Dot is like the official source for this information, and I'm just a YouTube dummy. But once these temperatures, here's my understanding, is once these temperatures get this low, and you know, it's not like there's sunshine to help with that salt melt, with that ice melt. Once these temperatures get this low, you really lose 80-90% of that salt effectiveness. We've been seeing plows all night trying to keep these roads clear, but as soon as they go by, even if it's not like in the middle of a snow squall, and you can see just how quickly the snow just comes back on the roadway, whether it's from a truck or wind or a snow squall, it just gets covered up. But then anything that does melt can quickly refreeze, especially on bridges, off-ramps, on-ramps. Those tend to ice over first. So it's just very difficult to, there's no way to make these normal driving conditions. Tosh K coming in with $5. That means so much to us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Roscoe says, Broadcastify is the reason that many agencies are going encrypted. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, Hennepin and Scott are pretty much all encrypted. And, you know, there's actually, I don't know how true this is, but I read that a lot of agencies kind of have like this COVID surplus money, and they've kind of redirected it to upgrading their radios, which can then become encrypted, right? So some of it is like there's maybe some leftover bonus money, and agencies are using that to upgrade to the latest and greatest radios, which is great. But then they're like, well, we have these radios that can be encrypted, why don't we? And the tragedy of that is, I think that harms transparency in government. Of course, there are situations, you could, the solution that a lot of sheriffs have proposed, or some of the, is that there's a balance, right? You have some channels that are encrypted, but but you only use those in special situations where you don't want anyone to know an officer's location, like a standoff, right? You don't want people to know, hey, there's an officer at this corner of the house, right, that can be sniped. You don't want that information to get out there during a standoff. So that makes sense to encrypt radios in that situation. And we've got some flashing lights up here on the right. Looks like maybe a delivery truck or UPS truck. Having a hard time. Maybe it's like a moving truck, a box truck for sure, right? Having a hard time getting up, partially jackknifed. Yeah, they've got their front tires turned. Panera truck. Let's see if...
Entrance P508, code 4. Entrance P508, code 4. Kindly code 4.
We're at a stoplight, so let's go back and do some thank yous to some of these members that are helping out. Tosh K saying $5. And if you donate the money, make sure to leave a comment, leave a question. We will try to prioritize those questions and comments and make sure you get a response, or we'll try to give you a special thank you. Watching from Minnetonka, Tosh K, I'm watching from Minnetonka. Thank you for everything that you do. This weather is crazy, man. Love that comment. Kaiser saying drove through this all day. Minneapolis early morning up to Sauk Center and across the Little Falls. That's a ton of driving. Felt bad about people behind my rig, to be honest, but like a blizzard for about 500 feet behind. So that light turned green. It's a snowstorm. We're gonna wait a moment before we just proceed to a green light to let some traffic that can't stop get through the light. I think that seems safe and prudent. So thank you to the professional drivers like Kaiser C who are out there having to drive in this. Thank you, Kaiser. And you heard him comment, some people had to wait for him. He was a cautious and safe driver, it sounds like. So thank you so much. Yep, and Mike very observant, knowing that we're back in New Brighton now. Home of the MN Safety Worldwide Headquarters. And give me just, people are... All right.
Chicago Metro. Chicago Metro.
We're going to loop back around. We've got a Panera box truck. It is stuck heading up an on-ramp, blocking the lane of traffic. There's a car on my left. I cannot really merge over right now. I just think...
2147.
So we're merging on the freeway at about 24 miles an hour. I think, maybe it'd be better to do the merge on at about 35 miles an hour. That might be prudent, but I get it. People want to be careful, and especially if you're a novice driver, these are tough situations. I'm not going to complain about anyone merging on too slow. It's just like slow for my taste, right? Yeah, but we're in the right lane. So we've got 3 lanes of travel here, just so you know. But we're going 26 miles an hour. We might... but that's fine. We've got 3 lanes of traffic. That's okay. Better safe than sorry. No one should be going that fast. Hopefully no one is pressing this person going 70. So, but we are going to pass them now that it's safe to do so. Well, we're 20, 30 minutes, I don't know how far in we are on this live stream. There's a semi-truck in front of me, and I cannot see it at all. I cannot see the lights on it whatsoever. I have no idea
Metro
where it's at.
2430 or 4470, car for pedestrian, northbound 494, south of 94.
A pedestrian
Metro
out.
2430 or 4470, car for pedestrian, northbound 494, south of 94.
South of 94. 494, south of 94. So wind chill is like minus 20.
South of 94.
And the visibility is so low. They're at risk of getting hit or frostbite or both. So hopefully they are able to respond. That's in the South Metro. We're in the North Metro. It would take us an hour to get there with these current conditions.
Metro SB 276.
So we're looping around right now to go check on this Panera box truck.
The VOR you're en route to, if it's a Ford pickup truck that's dark in color, it may be related to the VOR impending at 96.
Blocking a lane of traffic.
2150. 2150.
The Panera truck is going up the off-ramp and stuck.
63 car for 10-5 on 694.
Take a shot anytime he says food.
252 Humboldt. 2050.
Danielle says, stay safe out there. I love your channel a lot. What are the typical roles or tasks that civilian volunteers do? Well, that's a great question, and the answer is long. So I really love that question, though. Let me come back to that. But first, let's see if we can pull up the semi-truck, box truck, I should say, blocking a lane of traffic. Ooh, there it is. It's right there. Is that visible on the screen? You can see it. I know it's kind of spinning, but the box truck at top left corner, you can see the box truck is still there blocking a lane of traffic. It's like the third or fourth back in that frame. And if they want to go anywhere, they are going to need to back up. I'm almost positive. Kaiser C says, truckers, remember to wipe the snow off your rear lights to maximize visibility for drivers in this weather. Drive safe and keep up the good work. Thank you, Kaiser. What a great call out. Yeah, earlier, I don't know if it was the trucker or not, but I could not see their lights at all. It is so easy. I just had another semi-truck go past. Their tail lights are already gone. And that's just because the combination of the wind and the amount of snow nonstop. Is it advisable to drive to Brainerd tomorrow? Great question, Nitro. I mean, probably depends on your sense of adventure and your appetite for risk. But that's going to be some white knuckle driving for sure, I imagine. Maybe Thursday morning, maybe the winds aren't as bad. I have no idea. But like National Weather Service has said, like, please try not to drive at all. Okay, so they've already updated this. Crash east of 35W in the left lane. Crash, so that's separate from, we've got another, all right, so we've got a couple things going on up here. We've got the semi-truck that's blocking and stuck. VOR Highway 10, when was that? 950. Okay, so we just had a crash up here. We're not that far away. 35W in North Snelling. Look out for a crash. 694 and Highway 10. It's 694 eastbound. We're on 694 eastbound. So there's supposed to be a crash out here. Looks like it was just updated a moment ago.
Metro 312.
All right, so on the right, we've got the semi-truck blocking box truck from Panera.
She left the vehicle. Neighbor's not going to pull it, and she's working on insurance to tow it.
Sounds tight.
2153.
For them to realistically get anywhere, they're going to have to very carefully go backwards down that off-ramp. I don't know, now that they're at a complete stop, I do not know how that semi-truck, I'd love to hear from you all, but I have not seen a semi-truck be able to recover from that position on a ramp that steep. You basically have to go very carefully down that ramp backwards, preferably with, after you've called for help from the police and requested assistance. I had to slow down here. I can't, visibility dropped here very quickly. You have to call for help. Ramp probably needs to get closed so you can go backwards down that ramp and then go off, get back on the freeway and go to the next spot. Really bad visibility up here. Really bad visibility. I don't know what it looks like on the camera, but 694. I was gonna see if we could find it. Closer to Snelling. Okay. Looks like there's one on the left shoulder. So on the top left side of your screen, we can pull up the nearest live stream camera for that crash that just occurred. It's about a mile ahead of us. We can see, looks like there's one vehicle off on the left side. I don't know if there's a vehicle off on the right side or not, or if that's just, or if I'm looking at the light from the pole. Okay. Yep, we're driving a four-wheel drive, which doesn't help with safety per se, but it does help you get back on the road or get going again if you're stuck. You know, once you're stopped, it helps you get back on the road again, get going again. Coming up on a crash up here. Brent from Farmington, Minnesota saying hi. And I think I see flashing lights, or hazard lights, up here on the left. I don't know if they're blocking the lane or not, or partially blocking.
Metro 1070 car for vehicle partially blocking good Lexington. Metro 1070 car for vehicle off the road.
You can kind of look at their stripes. Yep, looks like they did hit. You can see where they hit the cable barrier.
Friday team. 10-5-21-57.
Metro 25, 20.
They look like they're in pretty good shape, but we'll go chat with them. Just make sure they're doing okay.
Metro 25, 2080 car, check for a stall. Northbound 16, northbound 100. Emperor Boulevard. Emperor Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm just a passerby. I'm just a volunteer. Just wanted to check on ya.
Guys in on a driving complaint, north 20 guys in on a driving complaint, north 160. Or 494 from Carroll Parkway. A silver passenger car covered with snow, unable to read the light that's weaving all over the road. information at 2150.
Okay, it looks like this is a 2-car crash. There's another vehicle that's off on the right side. I had him get back in his car and put his seatbelt on. And I also had him try starting his car so that he stays warm. I don't think he can drive, but there's a second car off on the right.
Southbound 35. You start Danstow, it's going to be 8 to southbound 35. 2200.
Yeah, you can't wear chains on the road in Minnesota, I don't think. There's no traffic behind us. We're very carefully backing up. And you can see where he sent the center median cable guardrail. I'll show that to you. Oh yeah, I'll show you in just a moment. Here, let me turn up. We'll turn up the. We'll defrost there for a bit, but you'll be able to see here in a moment. There's a car that went off on the right. Great, here's our first tow truck. The trucker's behind. Slowing down, which is nice. I'm Alex, I'm just a volunteer, but Trooper's coming up behind me. There's one car off on the right that you can't see. Okay. I'll leave. All right. All right, great. Good. Off on the right, off camera. The other driver has high visibility vest. On your right, you can see where they went down. One car hit the center cable median barrier, and then one car off on the right. One car way down there on the right. Does not look like it rolled over, which is great, but it's pretty far down there on the right. I don't know how visible that it was. Okay, so 2-car crash, one on the left, one on the right. That tow really got there pretty quickly.
Barrier across the road. 2 ambulances on scene with me.
That's the scene now. There's a car on the left side of your screen that's far enough off the road that you cannot see it from that camera. Wow. Well, we've seen several vehicles off-road, several crashes, including that one. The driver of one of those vehicles was wearing like a zip-up sweater, and his car was not starting. So it gets pretty cold pretty fast, and minus 20-degree wind chills. I think the air temperature is 2 degrees, not counting the wind chill. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at, you'll see drivers as the night goes on, they'll actually be driving faster instead of slower because there are less cars on the road, and that can result in more severe crashes.
146 Metro.
126. 126.
Merry Christmas in North Dakota.
VR is in the wrong time. VR is their own zone wrong time.
Okay, we might have a
22-8.
car off the road on the right side, or are they just stuck? I think they're stuck. So we'll loop back around. There's a car stuck off the road over there. I don't know if we'll be able to push them out, but let's go check them out. I saw that they're clearly off the road. We'll loop back around. Oh.
33 Metro South. 533 Metro South.
533.
All right.
The northbound 35 east, north of Hugo, SUV. The northbound 35 east, just north of
We're just looking for a place to loop around to go check on that vehicle off-road.
2209. 2209.
See if we can get this to update. And then in the top left of your screen, there's that 2-vehicle crash. One hit the center median barrier, another one way off the road, almost a rollover. I think because when you get into a crash on the freeway, the ditch on the right slopes away. Well, if you carry a lot of speed into that ditch as your car kind of turns to the side, the amount of velocity that you carry into that collision as you slide off determines whether or not you're going to roll over, along with the other properties of your car, SUV versus sedan. There they were driving a sedan. I think had they had an SUV, they would have rolled over because they were way off the road, and the further off you are the road, you know, that's an indication, you know, it's kind of a proxy indicator for how much speed you're bringing into a collision.
If you go off the road westbound 62 from Tracy. For 570 your 80 car for if you go off the road westbound 62 from Tracy. 109 deal. 109 deal.
So we just heard State Patrol dispatch, another vehicle off the road, westbound from Tracy. It was really good to see vehicles slowing down around that area. The tow truck got there pretty fast. I was really impressed. We're looping around to go check on this car. It's off the road. Looked like it was stuck. I'd be really curious if you've heard how much snow we've gotten in certain areas. I mean, it is really kind of piled up in some places, so I'd be very curious what you all are hearing in terms of snow in the Twin Cities. It's more than I thought we'd get in terms of snow.
You are in the 694 is checking workers zone. You are in the ramp. From 34th to northbound 694 is then checking and working on zone.
Rebecca says we've seen several, but I don't know what that's in relation to. So Rebecca calling out, looks like that driver should have had an emergency kit packed up. Rebecca helps with is one of the owners or admins of the Anoka County Police Blotter on Facebook. Even if you're not in Anoka County, it's a great group to join because they're always providing really good information about how to be better prepared. Jackknife Semi, eastbound 94 to Mound.
There's another VOR just off the ramp there. I don't know if that's the more color on.
Eastbound 94 to Mound. Jackknife Semi. I think that's... Alright. Yeah, and Becca in the chat has a checklist, an emergency preparedness checklist for severe weather, severe cold weather, winter weather. Really great. That's the Anoka County Police Blotter group on Facebook. Really good insight. Even if you're not from Anoka County, really good group to follow. Mounds Boulevard, 94 Mounds Boulevard. Sunshine is calling it out. Evelyn. Yeah, what's the temperature in Australia? Let's see what's going on. Let's take a look at that Jackknife Semi. Up here we've got a car that's off the road. We want to check on them. We're not too far, and we're not super far from 94 and Mound. Prior. Snelling, 94 Hamlin. Dale, Western, John Ireland, Wabasha.
289 Metro. 289 Metro.
289.
I'll be out with locals on 257.
Yeah, that the St. Paul I-94 cameras have not been live streaming lately. But there's a Jackknife Semi near here. West on 694. So we'll head to the Jackknife Semi if nothing stops us before that.
Central 4470 or 2440 car for 1050. It's northbound 5, just after the entrance for County Road 2.
So they just called out a 1050. That's another crash. You'll listen to them repeat it here.
2440 car for 1050. It's northbound 35, just after the entrance ramp for County Road 2. May 215.
There's an acronym, BARF, and it's a reminder that bridges and ramps freeze first. BARFF. And bridges freeze first because of the way that they're constructed. They have, they get colder faster. There's no ground underneath them that's keeping them warmer. So the temperatures of bridges fluctuate more than normal road surface temperatures. Ramps, that's true too to some degree, but ramps also tend to either have an elevation change or a curve to them, right? You're either going up or down or going around, like we just did for that partial cloverleaf interchange. And so you have stronger, so if you're going downhill, of course,
303.
you have less traction. You have gravity pulling on you.
What tow company is that?
And if you're going around a curve, you have to be going slower. If you, so curves, downhills are situations where you can really lose control easily. Bridges, of course, because they freeze first. You know, you can be driving on roadway that has good traction, then you hit the bridge and it's ice, right? But it'll really catch you off guard. And then a bridge that's going downhill on a curve, you know, it's like a worst case situation. That's got all the factors. Here's our crash that we saw earlier.
Yeah, it looks like he was on a different call, but he's gonna hold road.
They're stopping traffic on the freeway.
He was on a different call, but he's gonna hold road.
2017.
Stand by.
That's a tough crash to deal with because you've got a car on each side of the road that needs to be recovered, and you can't move the crash. The driver said his car was not drivable.
I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there.
He tried to get it going. He got going again, and then it went kaput on him. So his car was not drivable, and so you're policing stuff on both the right and left side of the roadway, which is pretty difficult. They've got flares out behind the squad car to help with visibility.
Cars stuck at the bottom of the ramp, and then the semi's blocking the ramp as well. At the bottom of the ramp, and then the semi's blocking the ramp as well.
2280.
5, you can just pick up 10-6.
10-6-22-18. Metro 1070 credit for stall blocking east. 518. Using 2218. 2218. 2218.
The visibility up here, you can kind of, if you look at the lights from the the lights kind of give you a sense for just how much snow there is blowing around in the air. So did this... They're saying a ramp is blocked, and I'm wondering if that's the ramp up here that was blocked earlier by the Panera truck at the top that could not go anywhere. And they said that there were a couple other cars that are stuck, so I wonder if that is related. Okay. Just got some updates about your comments. Thanks for your comments. Really appreciate hearing some of this stuff. Love hearing people just kind of share their stories. Yeah, flares cost about $3 each, by the way. So, Tommy Z, really thank you for calling that out. We've been deploying flares. We went through a box of about 30 flares the other night, which turned out to be pretty expensive. We do appreciate your donations. Hit the little $sign there to make a donation. We try not to push the NPR talking points on you too much, you know, where we stop and really ask for money. But we do appreciate any donation. It helps ensure that we do more of these live streams. There are expenses, of course, the flares, you know, drop 3 flares, that's $10 right there. But also the equipment. We've got flashing lights up here again, and the car just turned on their hazards. I think this is just plows though. But we'll see, there's maybe some flashing lights around the corner. We do appreciate those donations. I think there's a $sign where you can click even a few dollars. It does really help. So thank you so much. 30 flares, yeah. That was a couple nights ago. That was pretty wild, and I think we're kind of in the same situation here tonight, where I think where as traffic kind of thins out, people go faster, and the road conditions just don't support it, especially in cold weather. It's not like it's 30 degrees and the salt is taking effect. You have to realize it's...
out of it because you start a big rig, in case you can't. He may be able to drive his way out of it because you start a big rig.
So that's the semi, that's
LB 2221.
dispatch audio talking about that semi that's blocking. He's trying to work his way out of that situation as best he can, but they're asking for heavy wreck or heavy recovery to help out. And those lights of the plow, they'll kind of give you can see the glaze coming off the ground. I mean, that's wild to me. It's been like that the last several nights as the temperatures plummet at night. And, you know, I don't know about the chemical stuff at all. Again, dumb YouTube comments here. But, you know, it's extremely difficult. Whatever this glaze is, I don't think you can get it off the road when it's -2, -5 degrees out. And we've got blowing snow. So as soon as this plow goes past, and you can see the plume behind him. I'm going to move around him. You can see the plume behind him. You know, the wind picks up, and then the road is just covered again moments later. So really difficult conditions to keep these roads in any kind of good shape. But that gleam off the road is what really starts to scare you as a driver when you see the road is shining back at you. And it's ice or caked on snow or whatever. Once you get on that stuff, there's little to no traction.
152, 566. 566 Metro.
566.
We could probably use one more squad for lights. We'd be good here then. 247. We could probably just use one more squad for lights. We'd be good here then. 247. We're in the at least 2 tow. 61. We're in the at least 2 tow. And 152, you can send back. Got it shut down. And 152, you can send them back wrong way in the ramp. Got it shut down.
Okay, so now they're shutting down that ramp so they can go backwards now.
Copy, that's what I'm going to ask. Back wrong way in the ramp. Got it down. Copy, that's what I'm going to ask.
Just checking a couple things here in the background. Up here, there's a car in the left lane. A little hard to see. I think there's one kind of against the wall. So when we made contact with that other driver, he kind of came out to meet us, which is nice, you know, very Minnesotan, very Midwestern. Yeah, so they're out of their vehicle. Looks like someone's helping them already, but I see that there's a couple pedestrians on the side of the road. So we'll go check that out. We'll throw down some flares to help with the visibility situation. When we made contact with that other driver, we'll let him know, hey, don't be too hard on yourself. A lot of people are going off-road, you know, just to be welcoming and a nice Minnesotan. We talked to him about kind of seeing if he could get his car started to see if he could either move to a safer location, but also to stay warm as temperatures plummet tonight.
Lanes are clear, 694-51. Freeway will be coming for the VOR when they clear the 52.
But he came out to greet us, which is so
Lanes
nice.
are clear,
But we did let him know,
694-51.
hey,
Freeway will be coming back for the VOR.
something I think you're hearing more and more from a safety perspective is when in doubt, stay in your car and keep your seatbelt on, right? I mean, he slid off in that same location. There's nothing that stops another car from sliding off in that same location. So if you slide off in one location, there's no guarantee that someone else won't have that happen to them right there, right? Something's obviously slippery there.
566 customary.
So
160 cars. 566 customary. 624, do know.
I think either stay in your car with your seatbelt on. Like if you're in your car, you might as well keep your seatbelt on. No reason not to. Or like get way off the road. But what you don't want to do is just kind of putz around by your car, right? So, you know, have that time outside your car be very deliberate, so to speak. Have it be very productive. Limit that time outside of the car. And then and I guess, you know, if you're like, I gotta get out of my car, you know, go onto the other side of the guardrail where you have some protection, or you know, just get way off the freeway. If you want to get 50 feet off the freeway, that's an option, but don't just
163 car check person 50 on the ramp east 110 to north 35W.
north 35W, eastbound 10, north 35W. Okay, so
2026. 2026.
we're looping back around. There's one crash against the wall, 694 it looked like, and then further down from that there's one on highway 10 and 35W, which is actually not that far from 694. This is I-94 in Minneapolis. Just 2 months ago, Hennepin County deputy was shot at while pursuing a vehicle right in this area, and they just announced charges against the occupant of that vehicle. That vehicle was able to flee and get away after shooting at the Hennepin County deputy. And just very recently, it sounds like they identified those individuals that were shooting at that officer, that deputy, and have charged them with attempted murder. Two males, maybe 18, 20 years old, out of another city. Not out of Minneapolis, but out of another city.
Throughout night.
From Platinum, and she's just north of me. This one will be a from Platinum, and she's just north of me. This one will be a
We are looping around to check for a possible crash. 694 eastbound in the center median.
14 on 29.
And then another one on highway 10.
2228.
14 on.
Let's go check it out. Sundown says, I've been enjoying my all-wheel drifting lately. Beautiful drifting. My wheel control is amazing. Becca calling out, good reminders to have a high visibility vest or jacket in your vehicle or coat, and to make sure you aren't standing somewhere where you could be hit by another vehicle, and consider that they might slide off-road, you know, and hit you too. Fun fact, Thomas says salt doesn't actually melt ice, melt snow and ice. It lowers the freezing temperature of water. Regular road salt will only work effectively with temperatures down to 17 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are at least minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit. What is our current temperature? Minus 2. So great call out by Thomas. And Gabe, thank you so much. Gabe called out, there's a car that's completely off, be aware. let's go check out. We've got a crash. Ooh, it looks like it might be on the map now. Let's see.
623 Metro.
Not
623
there.
Metro.
Ooh.
623.
I'm 106 at East River Road. I'm 106 at East River Road.
23.
10-6 at East River Road. Oh, okay.
Ford is the car check and all the vehicle through south 135 mile plus 149. Ford is the car check and all the vehicle through south 135 mile plus 149.
356 from Stacy. 356 from Stacy.
So you can see
Thank you,
in the
130.
top
Thank you,
left
130.
corner, this is the crash that we're coming up to. Trooper arriving on scene, and that is a crash. So as we went past that, we saw that they were against the wall. It sounds like it did turn out to be a confirmed crash. 2 vehicles involved. That is up here on the left lane. Left shoulder.
.623 Metro. 623 Metro.
623. 623.
Okay.
I'll take a custody tow unoccupied on a Buick passenger car.
Schedule.
Car.
An all-wheel drive Prius. Nice, nice. Mr. Honda. How do you like it? We'll throw out 3 flares. This one have a... There, on the left side, one of the cars is unoccupied up there, so it's not like they're going to be able to relocate this crash somewhere where it's a little safer. Okay, we've got those flares out, letting them know that there's a road hazard ahead. And in cold winter, low visibility weather, those flares can have a huge effect in terms of drawing awareness to the fact that there's a road hazard up there. Is that snow or ice? Yes. All of the above. And if you look down there, let's see. we've got kind of a nicer camera here. They may have taken that left lane there as they try to work that crash. We're about a quarter mile away, but really happy with the camera, kind of showing off some of the camera quality. Yeah, I think they're partially blocking that left lane. Kind of get a sense for about a quarter mile, I'd say, away. And see some of the blowing and drifting snow.
23 Metro, cancel our full Vegas, Triple H here. 23 Metro, cancel our full Vegas, Triple H here.
34th Street to westbound 494.
Honeydew 35.
Metro 50, your 70 car for Speed Lost Road on the left. 34th Street to westbound 494.
446 in the 7 Cliff. 446 in the 7 Cliff.
3070 cars 4A, stop lock in semi without traction, west 94 to south 494. 3070 cars 4A, stop lock in semi without traction, west 94 to south 494.
3090. 3090.
2236. 2236.
Hi from Kirkhoven, Minnesota. Yeah, an edge calling out -2 degrees Fahrenheit, wind chills of -19 or 20. And a lot of blowing snow. Wow. Pretty low visibility, a lot of blowing snow in the air. Jackie says, we always get freezing rain and drizzle in North Dakota before the snow, and sucks to drive on for sure, because, yeah, there's definitely situations. Wow, that truck. Does that truck know that that lane is like partially blocked up there?
Metro.
That truck was
89
hauling.
Metro.
89. 89.
Just-
Stall blocking at Maxwell with UTL and that's my stall blocking. If we can start a big drag, please. Stall blocking at Maxwell with
Yellow
UTL,
DOT trucks, the drivers are capeless heroes for sure. And oh, hi, James says hi from Columbia Heights. John Roberts says minus
Copy, thank you.
-27 in Wyoming.
We're just going to be on the right side. Fire's going to stay behind us to help with traffic.
Fair amount of traffic out here for 10:30 p.m. Yeah, Rebecca says that scared me. Too close. That semi truck was hauling and just continued down the left lane. And I want you to know our windshield is clear, our lens is clear. The haze that you're seeing, that is all the blowing snow and falling snow. Here's a car that's going to pass in the left lane. And that down there, that lane is partially blocked. I'm almost positive. We'll take another look, but I'm almost positive that lane down there they're in that lane.
89.
I'm pretty sure the
Go ahead.
tow truck is in that left lane to get that vehicle,
We're making
in
it
order to get that
slowly but
vehicle out
surely.
of there.
We're making it slowly but surely.
Yep. I think all 50 states have move over laws now. Really good question. Denise says people are just too rude.
303 Metro. Info.
What? Denise, watching from Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Go ahead.
And I want you to know, we were talking to that other driver. We said stay in your vehicle with your seatbelt on. I've got my seatbelt on right now, even though I'm stopped. But for sure, every time I get in my car, I put my seatbelt on first thing.
white Mercedes
Copy, thank you.
eastbound
Copy, thank you.
That's phone road.
2239.
And yeah, I think there was actually another crash on the right down there. Oh, let's go to, we'll give you the reverse angle too. So yeah, you can see the situation. I just pulled it up in the top left corner. You can see this is kind of looking, that's the DOT camera looking the other way at, as they're trying to get that car out of there. So you've got two different videos of the same crash. Then something just happened on the other side here. There's a truck. I don't know if we just had another crash, but there's a white pickup truck on the right side over here now. Emily says, I tried using flares one time and cars drove right over the flares. So far, my experience has been a little better than that because cars seem a little more afraid to drive over flares. But of course, you know, your mileage may vary. I'm just taking a closer look at this white pickup truck to see if I see any damage on it because we've had several crashes. Oh, so this is 694. We're over the mighty Mississippi. So we're on a bridge. Lots of crashes happen here. It's a bridge deck. It's icy. It's cold. So very common to see crashes. And you know, case in point, we've got two crashes down there, and now we've got a pickup. We've got a crash down here on the right and the left.
Underneath the Zane. Plow hazard. It's nice for her.
I had LED flashers and people ran them over. Terry saying hi from Tulsa. Hi, Brian. Sounds like. Yeah, they're, and then on our left, where we've got this pickup, looks like they're out and inspecting. On the left side of your screen, they're out, kind of looking at the front end for maybe possible damage. And then down here, we've got a crash on the left and the right. I blew a tire in Connecticut the other night, hazards and triangles, and nobody moved over. I think the best compliance I have seen is with road flares. I think this is all anecdotes, right? And again, you're free to call me a dumb YouTuber, but, and you might not be wrong. You're probably right. But road flares have the highest compliance out of anything that I've seen in terms of compared to like road triangles. I've seen a lot of road triangles get just completely crushed or obliterated. I've seen better success with properly deployed set of 3 to 6 road flares. 3, 4, 5, 6 road flares. But you know, and I do love Minnesota. Moving, again, I'm originally from Michigan, so moving to Minnesota has been one of the best decisions I ever made of my life. I think the people here are great. And you'll hear we did turn on the blower to just make sure that our front window is defrosted. Just to keep that front window fresh and clean. Scott says, I plan on getting those battery-powered flares. I've heard good things. I've seen some good reviews on Amazon. Brandon says, a road flare saved me from driving through a flooded road. That is awesome. Flooding, one of the leading causes of weather-related fatalities. Floods are super dangerous. Way more dangerous than lightning. Way more dangerous. Floods are way more dangerous than lightning. It's weird. You can't see it. Off on our left, we've got a first responder. Looks like a fire rig, fire engine responding. So we'll see what else we've got going on. It is nice to see some of the vehicles starting to slow down. They see the flares, they see the flashing lights on both sides of the road, putting on their four-ways, letting traffic behind them, let them know that something's going on, something's amiss ahead, that it's time to perk up. So that is nice seeing people put on their four-ways. Jason says, hello from the middle of Georgia. Thanks for giving us a view of home, Twin Cities. Terry says we're supposed to get to zero between now and Friday noon. Good deals on road flares. I had to search a long time to find a decent deal on road flares. Home Depot will have decent prices if they're in stock. I forgot where I found them from. But it's really hard to find 3 for less than $10. If you can find 3 road flares for less than $10 and they're 30-minute road flares or 20-minute road flares, that's a pretty good deal from what I've seen. Scott says, I drive a tractor trailer, hate seeing people not slowing down or moving over. Yeah, totally. Very preventable stuff, right? John says, hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Todd drives a dump truck in the Twin Cities. Took the rest of the week off. That sounds smart. Let's see. Well, let's refresh this. You can kind of get an update, maybe. Pruna says, do bridges not have automated built-in de-icing? I-35W over the Mississippi does have automated de-icing. Most bridges do not, though. And I assume that's an expense thing. It sounds crazy expensive to me. And, you know, like, you have to deal with, like, the pipes that support that. You have to deal with them not freezing. Very good question about automated de-icing. And we're just checking out on the top left, safety vid. This kind of shows the most recent stuff that's being dispatched, so we can see the text. You know, if you miss something on dispatch audio, we can see the text of what calls are out there. So a crash on I-90, US 52. You can see the timestamp. So this one just came out at 10:42. This one at 10:37, 10:36, 10:35. So about a crash every once a minute. I-94 westbound, a stalled vehicle. Let me. Are you able to see that on your screen? Yep. But 494. US 10, Highway 37, I-35 vehicle spin out. Okay, here's the one that we're on. So this call came out at 10:25, I-694 eastbound between exit 36 and East River Road in Fridley, near Highway 47 or MN.Safety.Alerts. Look out for a crash. Looks like it involved a couple vehicles. I-694 eastbound. Dave says I-35E also has automatic de-icing over the river bridge. Awesome. Thank you, Dave, for saying that, for letting us know about that. So let's see if we can, so the camera that has this up is the East River Road camera. I'll show you guys a cool feature, which is we can actually play back this camera, I'm pretty sure. So this came out at 10:25. Oh, what? Let's go to cameras. So westbound at East River Road, northbound. 30081.
Adam Beaver X-ray.
30081.
Could you add a 28 to my map? Adam, we have X-ray 0.
And we'll choose today. And we'll choose today. So the cool thing is we can kind of rewind this camera and see, we'll just check and see if the crash occurred on camera. That's what's happening on the top left side of your screen. Okay, so this was 5 minutes before the crash occurred, or 5 minutes before the crash was dispatched. And so what we've done is we've rewound the video. And we can kind of skip ahead. Oh. Let's see here. Oh, looks like it. Looks like you can see it on the watch. The crash is going to happen on camera. You can see cars braking. So the crash that's on your right screen, the crash that's up ahead, yep, and you can see a car. You know, it's a little hard to see. It's a little bit further down and away from the camera. But on the left side of your screen, you can see that crash start to happen, and then, oh, yeah, there it is. Just happened. There's that crash. They rear-ended the vehicle in front of them and then pushed them into the wall. So we know what caused this crash. Let's see if we can play that back one more time. I think it happened. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah. Car's braking. And then someone's going to rear-end them and send them into the wall. And it's a little hard to see. It's far down there. This is the crash that we're on. We're just replaying the video. We'll rewind that one more time. Did that make it any better? Let's try that again. Let me know if this makes it any better. Seeing that crash on camera. Cars are braking.
2253. 2253.
And boom, there's a collision, sends them right into the wall. That's tough. So, you know, speed can play a factor, or being a distracted driver. But unfortunately, the car, it looked like to me, I mean, it's really hard to make out from this grainy video, but the car that got hit into the wall got rear-ended by another car that could not brake in time. We'll try doing this one last time. Oh, maybe that's it. Here we go. Wow. Wow. There's a car, wait a moment. So there's a car in the left shoulder. Watch, yep. And then cars brake, and they hit the car in the left shoulder. They couldn't stop in time, so they started to use the left shoulder to get around them, and they hit the car. So, I just think it's so cool that MN.Dot created these cameras. You just learn so much. So you can see that's the crash that we're on. That's rewinding, and getting to see what led up to these crashes. And someone said we can turn down our wipers. Sorry.
Metro. 2406 Metro.
2406 Metro. 2406.
482 Metro.
On the other side, State trooper showing up to that pickup
Salton Road 228.
that was stopped. So we've got
VOR 10-6 crash on 280 at Colmar. That's Salton Road 210.
you can't see it, but there's we've got a crash ahead and we've actually got a crash behind us.
Reassigned to event by case number 2513978. Hit and run from the 11th.
Yeah, so we've seen a car get hit on the shoulder tonight.
What different number? Go ahead. Go ahead. 955. 955.
All right.
Metro 19, myself will be at 951 Juneau Avenue in Sioux Falls with the in-around suspect vehicle with both cases. 935. 15258. 15258.
Getting back on the road. And we were looking at, we pulled up that, we pulled up safety vid that showed us that crashes were coming in roughly at about a 1 crash a minute there.
How people get the program? 10-4. Downtown.
And you can really see the blowing and drifting snow causing visibility issues on the road at all.
058 car for a spin out east on the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
Ooh, spin out in the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
Car for a spin
Eastbound.
Out east on the Lowry Hill Tunnel.
Well, we could go. Let's go check out eastbound in the Lowry Hill Tunnel. Lowry Hill Tunnel. So just to be extra safe, we're going about 36 miles per hour. It looks like it's roughly the speed of the vehicle ahead of us. I don't think we're necessarily gaining on them or falling behind. Eastbound in the Lowry Hill Tunnel. Vehicle spun out. Ooh.
231 from the 46 bus stop. 231 from the 46 bus stop. 256.
So that's a live look at Lowry Hill Tunnel, and that's right around that curve. They're in a tough spot. They're in a blind spot for sure. That is a tough spot. So on the left hand of your screen, we've got that live stream showing that car. It spun out, hit the wall in the Lowry Hill Tunnel on I-94.
There's an abandoned vehicle back here that might have been the start of all this collision here. I already talked to freeways and it's custody to them.
Cars are coming in at freeway speeds.
That might have been the start of all this.
Hopefully they do not get hit. But that's the live look. State troopers just got dispatched to it. No police on scene yet.
Cars going for the spin out in the Lowry Hill Tunnel. It's going to be in the left-hand lane. Disregard, you're on scene 2058. 2058. 2058.
Bigga saying that's a cool feature we have. Thank you, Bigga. Glad to hear it. Okay, so we've got a green light, but this car is not going to stop. Is that on? So, be careful. Be careful.
10-9. 10-9. Too many drop players, you're going to move it. Too many drop players, you're going to move it. Negative, we're flipping it around now.
Police on scene. And I love the enthusiasm. If you see it, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Police enemy contact, do 5 minutes check. Police enemy contact, do 5 minutes check. 2059.
Looks like they were running to get their friend. Ooh. Ugh. This is all ice and packed down snow. Thankfully, we weren't going very fast. But that was downhill, and that was all packed down ice and snow. On the left side of your screen, you can see that is exactly how you should handle that situation. They're getting the driver. That car was drivable the whole time, right? So this is a lesson that we can all take away. If you're watching this, you know, promote these types of messages to the people that you know, politely, you know, not in like a mean way, but, you know, encourage them like, hey, did you think, you know, that car was drivable? It was blocking the left lane of traffic on a freeway at night in the middle of a blizzard and on the freeway, right? But they just kind of left their car there, right? They didn't know what to do, but it turned out the car was drivable the whole time. They got it flipped around, turned around, and got them back on their way so that they're no longer a road hazard. No one else is just going to smack into them. Really good policing, but also probably stuff for each of us to learn from these experienced troopers that are out here every day doing this is, you know, if it's drivable and it's okay to do so, see if you can get it off the road. See if you can get the vehicle into a safer place where it's not just going to get smacked into. But that was an especially precarious situation. They're in the left lane, on a freeway, on a curve, zero visibility during a blizzard, and they were just going to leave their car. They had abandoned their car. They had started to walk away from it. You know, they're trying to get help. They're trying to do what's right, not knowing, hey, it's okay to just, you know, get out of the lane of traffic. First and foremost, you know, think about safety first, and then worry kind of about those reporting and insurance issues later. Pull off at the next exit, and then, you know, and then exchange information, do that type of stuff. Does that sound fair? Again, you're getting advice from a random YouTuber, but we just saw that real world experience in the Lowry Hill Tunnel on the left side of your screen, top hand left side, where that car was blocking lane traffic. Very precarious. Okay. Okay, so we are going to go up to Highway 10. It's up here in about a mile, and go check for more vehicles off-road, vehicles that have spun out. And as these temperatures drop, you're starting to see more of these roads start to kind of get that glaze look to them, which is very unsettling as a driver. So we'll see what's up here. Let's go back to here. Yeah, let's, Becca calling out wear a high-vis vest. And we do appreciate any donations. It really helps us cover our costs. There are expenses with equipment and gas and that type of stuff, but it's also the time that's involved. So we really appreciate any donations. Go ahead and click the little $sign, probably somewhere on your screen. We appreciate any donations. And when you do that, make sure to leave a comment or a question. We prioritize responding to those, and we really appreciate when you do that. And it helps us bring more live streams to you. This is day 1 of the blizzard. Day 2 and day 3 are likely going to get worse according to the National Weather Service. Today is kind of like an orange travel day, and then tomorrow is a red travel day, and Saturday is a purple travel day. I guess purple is the worst, or maybe they had to make a new color, I don't know. We want to do more. If you look at this, I'm sorry, but there's just so much glaze on these roads. As you can see it in as with this tow truck, plow, the light's kind of flashing off, but you can see there's so much glaze on these roads right now. And with the temperatures getting so cold, very little that salt or brine or some of these concoctions are going to do. Unless we're putting lava on the road, I don't think this ice is going anywhere. You can see some more of the glaze. These lights are kind of reflecting. You can see the glaze in that left lane, and it's on the right lane too, but little unsettling. Appreciate any donations. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We have to tell you that by YouTube law. Make sure you like and subscribe. It means a lot to us, and it helps, probably with the algorithm, that type of stuff. Recommend our videos to more people. And we run 2 channels. We run MN Safety, which is our main one, mostly focused on policing in Minnesota, but also in trying to promote that transparency in government, right? but also our second channel, which is more focused on crashes and traffic safety, Wham, Slam, Traffic Cam. Make sure you like and subscribe that channel as well, especially if you're more interested in some of the traffic safety aspects. And I cannot get enough of, look at all this ice, or packed snow, or whatever. It's reflective surfaces, which make me very nervous as a driver.
I need a car for a vehicle off the road on 169 phase.
And you heard State Patrol dispatch.
I need a car for a vehicle off the road southbound 169 at 150th. 345, 155. 345, 155.
David says, do you think the roads are going to be worse tomorrow? I think there's going to be more blowing snow tomorrow, according to the National Weather Service, or at least what I read. So double check. Rebecca, thanks for the heads up about the video choppiness. Definitely appreciated. But it sounds like it's getting better. Boycott asking indirectly if we have a criminal record. No, we do not have a criminal record. But good to ask. Good to ask. Good to check. No problems with that. No problems asking. John Roberts calling out that he's got family in Rockford, Illinois. Pretty tough travel conditions across Minnesota, across Wisconsin, northern Illinois, I think, as well. National Weather Service for your best forecasts. Who's your daddy? Calling out suspect running. It did look like that for a moment. I wasn't going to be surprised, but it looked like they were just getting the driver of the car, like it was the passenger going and getting the driver.
Metro 673 checking your status.
But they did take
Metro
off sprinting.
673 checking your status.
Definitely took off sprinting.
Go for it.
We're up in the North Metro. A couple crashes, not that far from us. We are streaming to give you all the best experience. We are streaming with Canon camcorder so that we can kind of zoom in real far down on incidents and provide a higher quality 4K stream or high-end, higher quality 1080p stream for you all. That's why we do ask for money, but that's okay. And then we run it off some equipment in the car, but also provide that radar in the bottom left, which I think is kind of a handy maybe feature. Let us know what you think of it. If we don't like it, we can always get rid of it. But you can see that snow just does not stop. It keeps coming in. Maybe we'll put the radar in motion for you all, and you can see it just keeps, every time you think like the wave is over, a new wave just kind of pops up. Some people call these, like in the springtime, training storms or whatever, because they're like a train, like a new storm just keeps popping up. But that's been the snow situation. For the last 12 hours, it has not stopped snowing here. Last 14 hours, it has not stopped snowing. Since 9 a.m. It's now 11 p.m., so 14 hours. You know, that's not clickbait stuff. That's the real situation here. It has been like this, and it's this type of snow. Sometimes it's a little bit stronger. Sometimes this is about as light as it gets, but it just has not stopped snowing. And each time you think, oh, there's, like I said, a wave went past, it just, a new wave like pops up, a new, I don't know, do they call them waves? New squall pops up and you get more snow. Good questions about the equipment. And then we talked a little bit about earlier in the night bonded cellular equipment. So to kind of make this live stream as smooth as possible and give you these higher quality feeds, we combine our AT&T signal, cellular signal, with our Verizon data signal to really provide a higher upload speed to kind of give buttery smooth live stream. At least that's our goal. It's not always perfect, but it's way better than just using one cell service. If you get into a spotty area, you still got your backup service.
Metro 5070 cars for 1052 single vehicle South W between Cliff and 13. Metro 5070 cars for 1052 single vehicle South W between Cliff and 13.
Yeah, so
Metro
new
77 Cliff.
crash just getting called out.
77
I-35W ahead of us. 2 vehicles involved. see.
109 Metro. 109 Metro. 109. 109.
Full units be clear of the address.
Messenger.
50. 50.
And then up here we've got another wreck or something going on. Let's see, what is this? Let me slow down. Vehicle spun out. Here's the look. This is what we're coming up on. Yeah, vehicle off. On the left. There are some flares in the median. Okay. Okay, so there's something going on up ahead. If you take the exit. Gotcha. Wow, so another car out there. We'll loop around so you can get another view at it. But we've got 3 squads out there.
152 Metro. 152 Metro.
Trying to. That's the car that we started the night at.
152.
There's 3 squads out there now.
Semi's cleared. The ram stack open.
Wow, look at this blowing snow. I mean, look at the. On your left. I mean, the ground is all ice or glazed over. And whenever a truck oncoming out spotting another vehicle off-road. Really well.
Hang out here. Make sure you can clear this intersection. Is it side on hook here? 25 1080 car vehicle off the road south on 169 to Delaware between Belle Plaine and Jordan. 25 1080 car for vehicle off the road south on 169 south of Delaware between Belle Plaine and Jordan.
I would like to loop around.
2212. 2212. 113. 113. You want me back?
There's plows stopped on the bridge. There's an accident behind us, and there's a car off on the left, off on the right actually, also behind us, unrelated to the crash, about half mile away from the crash. Ooh, I think we've got a couple of things to say thank you. We've got a new member, Gabe Z. Welcome to Platinum membership. Wow, thank you, Gabe. Means so much to us. Really appreciate that. Means a ton. Really brings a smile to our face after a very, very cold day. Gabe, thank you so much. Means a ton. Roz, thanks for the live stream, guys. Stay safe. Roz donating $20. Thank you, Roz. That really helps support us with our time, with our equipment. Even helps us purchase some safety equipment to stay safe, like our high visibility vests, even some amber lights on the vehicle. Means a lot to us. Thank you, Roz. That means so much. Roz and Gabe.
Southbound at the 137, I'll take Dan's B for toll into Forest Lake private zone.
And
southbound at the 137, I'll take Dan's. It'll be for toll into Forest Lake private zone.
10-4-23-5.
Rebecca answering a great question. The other channel is called Wham Slam Traffic Cam. Kind of a funny name. but it kind of gets the point across. Lots of great footage from those MN.Dot traffic cameras. I think MN.Dot putting in a fair amount of thought leadership in terms of getting intelligence, getting information out to the public about what crashes are really like, about and having a network, a camera network that really provides some real-time intel as to what the roads are like. That 511 app that MN.Dot provides, if you're ever traveling through MN.Dot or you live in Minnesota, I consider it one of the best apps, one of the most required apps if you're a traveler going through Minnesota or living in Minnesota. Really nice job. Nice job, Minnesota. Yeah, and as other people mentioned, I like to talk about, I came from Michigan. Moving to Minnesota, one of the best decisions of my life was living in suburban Detroit, and really have enjoyed living in the Twin Cities. Okay, so there was a vehicle off-road up here on the right. Winter storm warning in effect. That's what that sign says. Winter storm warning in effect. We have an option to go to Duluth. We can take 35W north all the way to Duluth. It'll join with I-35. We can take I-35W north to Duluth, but we're not going to do that. That's a long drive, and it would be truly white-knuckle driving. I mean, however bad the visibility here is, so much worse once you get outside the cities. This is where we started the night, was meeting up with this driver, just making sure that she was okay. And because she was in a pretty tight spot, getting out, this is a curve, it's a downhill, you're on a bridge, you know, traffic coming in has no visibility, and you can see, oh my gosh, is the tow truck stuck? I don't know. Wow. Wow. Did the tow truck get hit? I don't know, but the tow truck is way down there. Way down there. What happened? Wow. We'll loop around so you guys can get another look at that. That was something else. I'm not trying to laugh at anyone's misfortune. I should be careful. I'm glad to hear that it looked like everyone was okay, but that tow truck was way off-road. And that crash was there at the start of our live stream. Again, getting to the difficulty of that situation, you're on a blind curve, minus 20 degree Fahrenheit temperatures, you know, we're 50 degrees below freezing. We've got blizzard-like conditions, blowing snow, winter storm warning, right? And it's downhill, so if anyone comes around that blind curve and tries to apply their brakes, well, the ground is already frozen, there's snowpack, there's ice, but also they're downhill, so even if they do get traction, whatever traction they have, gravity is pulling them down into that situation. So it's really good to see that there are 3 squad cars out there lighting up the scene, giving drivers advance notice as they come into that situation. I'm sure they've thought about or discussed closing down the ramp so that they can get that, well, they can get that car out of there. But we'll loop back around and you can see just how far into the snowpack that that tow truck was. Roz donating $20. Again, I just want to say thank you so much. It means so much to us, and it helps us do more of these. The biggest reason we don't do these every night in Minnesota, whether it's crime watching or weather watching or whatever, the biggest reason we don't is time and money. So thank you. This definitely helps us, encourage us to do more of these, especially when we get these big weather events. Let's see, and I want to check the chat here in a moment. Rebecca saying, I'll check the audio and see what happened there. Rebecca Chartier in the chat. Rebecca, I hope that's how you say your last name. Runs the Anoka County Police Blotter. Extremely informed in terms of
482 Metro. 482 Metro.
happenings in Anoka County or larger Twin Cities. And yeah.
Two vehicles in the ditch. Ramp 221 10 to 35 W North. You're going to be waiting for private tows. Now parking. Two vehicles in the ditch. Ramp 21 10 35 W North. You're going to be waiting for private tows. Now parking.
2320. 2320.
Earlier in the night at this intersection, we saw a tow truck pulling another tow truck that had gotten stuck. Some tough driving for sure. And when the night started, and I guess I should be careful saying this, it really felt like 1 out of 5 cars ended up off-road. I'm glad so far that has not been us. I don't know, I'm a little cautious to attribute it to myself because I think some of that is just luck. But by all means, we've been trying to be pretty diligent about our safety, trying to be pretty diligent about keeping our speeds down. We're going 38 miles an hour right now. But we're going to come up on this scene on our left. We've got 3 squad cars out, a car off the road, and now the tow truck is way stuck. I mean, way stuck. Mr. Honda Black sharing a bit of, Mr. Honda Blink sharing a bit of personal news. Wow, September 15th, 2015, hit head on by a distracted driver. Lost 11 teeth, 7 surgeries. Suffered to this day from both ocular and hemiplegic migraines. Ocular eye, okay, I've got that figured out. Less familiar with the word hemiplegic, maybe referring to hemispheres of the head. More surgery to come. And I think this is a great story, and I'm glad you're sharing it. When we hear that someone survived a crash and was only injured, these are some of the injuries that we're talking about. Life-changing injuries, affecting our quality of life. There's really more knowledge out there now. I think we're learning a lot more about traumatic brain injuries. But when we hear that someone is injured in a crash, I was just listening to another person who got rear-ended on a crash, and they thought they were okay. But hours later, that adrenaline wore off, and they realized that something was seriously wrong with their head.
SP12.
A warning to us all, perhaps. I just think there's a lot more that we can kind of think through, learn as a society about when it comes to vehicle injuries and just how life-changing they can be. You don't have to go far to find someone who's been affected by a traumatic brain injury or a car crash. I knew a guy, he spun out on a bridge, hit the center wall. This car's flashing their lights at me to let me know the situation up ahead, which is good. And I see the flares, good. Context clues. Use context clues to your advantage. Be aware of the situation ahead. Yeah, so this is where we've got the tow way off the road. We're using 2. Thanks to these guys for their work. Maybe they had to just deploy a second one. That second tow truck is definitely stuck. Very stuck. Very stuck. Oh, we should see if it's on camera. I know that there's a traffic camera above this intersection. So let's pull it up on our top left screen and take a look. Yeah, this is what. Yeah, there's the situation. I can't show just how stuck that truck is, but it is stuck. They are going to be there for a long time. And I'm sorry I laughed at that.
Thank you for grabbing that vehicle off the road. Metro 54, thank you for grabbing that vehicle off the road.
No problem.
2225.
So that's a live stream, top left corner of those two plows working now to one plow working to get the car unstuck and a plow working to get the other plow unstuck. And that other plow is really stuck in there. I wonder if it got hit. I don't know. I don't know how else it would have gotten so far in there. We'll get back on 35W, take a look. I thought there was, it's very hard to go more than a mile or half a mile without seeing another vehicle off-road, so I don't think we'll have to go far.
Six, harsh block. West end of Port West. 6070 car for a stall. Partial blocking needed removed. West 94 at Western.
281 Maryland. 281 from Maryland.
That's
2327.
okay. So call of a stall, partially blocking. So partially blocking a lane of traffic. You can't do that on the freeway. Very dangerous situation, especially with the blizzard. But it's dangerous even during daytime hours. That's I-94 in St. Paul, East Metro, District 2400. That just got dispatched. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes, like, are you getting back on the interstate or are you arriving at the ski resort? Because from the context, it's hard to tell sometimes. Could just as easily be pulling into the ski resort. But we're actually getting back on the freeway. And I would guess we've probably seen 20 car crashes, vehicles off-road so far. We had a semi blocking a ramp because it couldn't get up anymore. It was stopped at the top of it and was stopping traffic behind it. I'm seeing some good stuff in the chat. People sharing a little bit about either themselves or people that they know suffering the effects. They were only quote-unquote injured from a car crash, but had some real effects on them. Boycott saying TBIs are very diverse because they're extremely specific depending on the part of the brain affected. I worked critical care ICU for 6 years. Children are most heartbreaking. Yep, for sure. TS to note 19 and 83. Damn, Alex. Just started snowing again in Rockford, Minnesota. Still no wind yet. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what the wind is going to be like tomorrow and just what the blowing wind situation is going to be. Alex says, I hit a deer in Mankato 20th of October on a motorcycle at 60 miles per hour. Had bought the bike same day. Told not to ride at night, but didn't listen. Only broke my collarbone, 2 scratches. Collarbone can take a while to heal, from what I hear. No personal experience, but that does not sound very fun. Gregory Johnson saying, drive safe, brother. Thank you. Never been to California, don't want to go. Flipped a car when I was a friend driving too fast on Route 380 near Scranton, Pennsylvania. Flipped a car. Okay, so while we're waiting for our next car crash to randomly pop up at any time or location, new research showing about the effects of rollovers. Rollovers are always a very serious type of crash, even a partial rollover, you know, half a rollover. But each time a car rolls over, the more serious the crash is likely to be. So it's not perfect math, but there's some really good research on rollovers. The first time you roll over, second time you roll over, third time you roll over. Once you get to rolling over 3 or more times, the risk of these high level injuries, that's like injury type 3 or whatever, are a lot more common. And then, you know, they do this research for people who are ejected or partially ejected. Survivability goes down, and this is pretty intuitive, right? I don't think this is like amazing science, right? But it's nice that someone double checked this stuff. But each time the car rolls over, survivability goes down. If you're buckled in, by the time you roll over the third time, your chance of passing away in a car crash like that is around 20%, 1 out of 5. If you're unbuckled, it's 85, 80%, or 85% or higher. And from we tend not to publish these types of crashes, but from the videos that we've seen, and I'm speaking candidly here so that y'all can learn something, when people are ejected from rollovers, they go out the side window because the car's got spun to the side. They go out the side window, and then the car rolls on top of them. That's what happens during a rollover when someone is ejected. So it's very tragic. Those are not survivable types of crashes. So, but the cool, I guess if you ever were a witness to a rollover crash, it's kind of helpful, you know, if you can, count how many times the car rolls over. It's a good indication of speed. It's a good indication of the forces involved. And the more they roll over, especially once you get to 3 or more, survivability goes down. Even if you're buckled in, your chances of surviving that crash are only about 20%. 1 out of 5 will not survive. If you're unbuckled, 4 out of 5 will not survive. Ooh, Andrew. Hot here in Perth, Australia. Wow. 37 degrees hot, which is 37 degrees Celsius. That's crazy. It is summertime in Australia. Ooh, we'll take this.
.4550 car 1050 north 94, just north 94. 4550 car 1050 north 94, just north of 394.
Another crash, 1050,
673, 9425.
94 and 394.
9425. 673 is blocking, but transit's got the ramp to Olson Memorial block there. 673 is blocking, but transit's got the ramp to Olson Memorial block there.
Okay, so the crash is blocking a lane of traffic.
2330.
And Metro Transit, so Metro Transit police are also out. Sounds like they're helping police the crash, even though State Patrol will have jurisdiction on that crash. And there, you can feel the ice. You know, I'm going 5 miles an hour, but take a look. There's no traffic around me, so I'm going to slow down here. We'll just kind of zoom in. Look at all the glaze. Yikes. Ben saying, hey Alex, I believe I towed your bike after that car deer crash, after that motorcycle bike crash. Wow. Nicole saying, I have winter driving PTSD. My first winter driving, I got my car totaled pretty bad. Wow. Yeah, super scary crashes. Rebecca reminding us, it is -4 here. -20, which is -20 degrees Celsius. Oh, we're going to make it through this yellow light. we're going to wrap up our live stream. We've got about a minute left. Make sure if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Really helps. If you want to see these videos show up in your feed, that's really helpful. And our traffic-specific channel, Wham Slam Traffic Cam, that's where we'll post a lot of the videos, traffic safety videos, real crash videos, really using real-world examples on pileups. If you want to know what's causing pileups, what leads up to a pileup, what should I do with a pileup, if I'm involved in one. Make sure to subscribe to that channel. And it has a silly name, Wham Slam Traffic Cam. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe. And I want to thank the people that were able to share some of their crash stories.
1080 car, check for injuries for crash, west on Highway 5 at Auburn. 345 169 Old Chalksky Road. 345 2335.
Yeah.
345 2335.
It's 11:30. There are just not that many drivers on the road, but they continue to call out a crash every minute or two. Another call, they just called out a crash with possible injuries. Check for injuries, unknown injury crash in the Southeast Metro. I just want to say, on a final note, thank you so much to the people that shared some of their stories about surviving a crash or hearing what others have gone through. Means so much, and I do think there's something to be said for us all learning more about what it's like, quote unquote, to just be injured from a car crash. It's a complicated story. Traumatic brain injuries are complicated. That recovery process is complicated, and the emotions that go with it. And even from a minor crash, right? You have to deal with the pain of figuring out car rental, getting your car fixed. Maybe the other driver drove off. So, just a lot of, I guess, sympathy, drawing awareness to the effect that car crashes have on people, right? Boy, look at this. I mean, the visibility is just crazy. This is probably a pretty good time to turn in. So I just want to say, yeah, that's right. In the words of Slashmaster, slow down, players and playettes. And a special thank you to Rebecca, who was able to be one of our moderators for the chat, and she runs the Anoka County Police Blotter on Facebook. You can also follow her on Twitter. She is both smart and snarky, but also produces really great information about being better prepared and better aware of what's going on in Anoka County, but better prepared in general for anyone anywhere in the U.S.
247. 247, go ahead. 247, go ahead. Crash is clear. 2338.
Oh, Ben. We have red, yellow, and white trucks with blue booms. Kind of strange, but that's part of the transition. Ben, where is that? Let me know. All right, well, you all have a good night.
664 Metro.
Stay safe and Merry Christmas.
661. 661. 10 22. 341 Metro. Same traffic. 341 Metro.